Hi. Hello, how are you doing? We are going to go over the solutions for the Thinking with Mathematical Models Investigation 3, um, EE3 solving equations. So what you need to do is write down all of these steps. You don't have to use different colors, but using different colors will sometimes help you see those steps that you need to show. So for number 11, you have 3 is equal to -4 plus y. First thing you need to do is add 4 to both sides, right? We need to get rid of that -4. You add 4 to both sides, you end up with 7 is equal to y. Showing that one-step equation. Number 12, we're going to solve for c. For this one, we have a -12c is equal to 8. We have a number next to a variable. That's its coefficient, and that means that we are multiplying -12 times c. And so to get rid of a multiplication, we need to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by that -12. And when I get done, I just end up with -8 over 12. But then I need to simplify that, divide top and bottom by 4, and you get -2, 3. Number 13, solve for s. We have s divided by -4 is equal to 2. We have division that we need to undo. We're going to multiply it. So we're going to show that we're multiplying both sides by that -4. And s divided by -4 times -4 would get you just 1s or s. And 2 times -4 gets you -8. Number 14, we're solving for w. We have 79 is equal to 5w plus 9. This time our w has two things that are happening to it. It's being multiplied by 5 and 9 is being added to it. So we're going to undo the plus 9 first by subtracting 9. Do it on the right side of the equal sign. We do it on the left side of the equal sign. And I end up with 70 is equal to 5w. So again, if the 5 is next to that w with nothing in between, that means multiplication. To undo multiplication, we divide. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And 5w divided by 5 is going to get you your 1w. And 70 divided by 5 is 14. Number 15, we're solving for z. -1 plus 8z is equal to -73. Again, 2 steps. Z is being multiplied by 8, and we are adding a -1 to it. We're going to undo the addition of -1 by just adding a +1, right? Or we're going to get rid of that -1 by adding 1. If we do that on the left side, we have to do it on the right. -73 plus 1 is -72. So we have 8z on the left is equal to -72. 8 next to the z means multiply. So to get rid of that or simplify it to 1z, we need to divide by 8. And -72 divided by 8 would get me -9. So z is equal to -9. You go back and plug this in for the z up here. You get -1 plus plus 8 times -9, which is plus -72. -1 plus -72 would indeed get you -73. You don't have to make it real official, but it's not that hard to plug that back in and check. 16, you're solving for y. And you have y over 4, or y divided by 4, minus 16 is equal to -1. We have division and subtraction. We're going to get rid of subtraction first. by adding 16 to both sides of the equal sign. And on the left, we end up with just y, and on the right, or I'm sorry, y over 4. And on the right-hand side, we end up with 15. Y divided by 4. To undo that division, we have to multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 4. And we end up with 1y is equal to 60. Showing both steps. Both times I have red in there is undoing one of my steps. So I have 1 step, 2 steps. 17, we're solving for x. We have 5x plus 8 is equal to 3x plus 22. This time we have a 3-step equation because we have to start off by getting all the variables on one side. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides of the equal sign for step 1. And I now have 2x plus 8 is equal to 22. This is now a 2-step equation. I have multiplication by 2, addition of 8. I get rid of addition first by subtracting 8 on both sides of the equation. On the left, I have now 2x, and on the right, I have 14. I'd get rid of that multiplication of 2 by dividing by 2. And I end up with x is equal to 7. And finally, number 18, we're going to solve for r. Again, I have variables on both sides. 5r minus 1 is equal to 2r minus 13. I prefer to keep my r positive if I can, so I'm going to subtract that 2r on both sides. And 5r minus 2r is going to be 3r, bring down that negative 1. And 2r minus 2r leaves me with 0 here. No, I have 0 r's left, but I do still have negative 13 on the right-hand side. Again, now we have a 2-step equation. We have multiplication and we have subtraction. To get rid of the subtraction by 1, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And on the left, I have just 3r now. And on the right, negative 13 plus 1 is negative 12. Multiplying by 13 or by 3, to undo that, we're going to divide by 3. And negative 12 divided by 3 leaves me with negative 4. Clearly 3 steps in red shown. If you have any questions about any of these before you do the retake, please make a point to come and see me and talk to me about it, and we can get you ready for the retake. Have a great night, weekend, day, whatever you're listening to this, and I will see you soon.